How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
All right, welcome back to the podcast that drinks and knows things. We are on our epilogue episode for season 4, episode 2, The Lion, the Rose, and the Wardrobe. So what are we talking about today?
The woman's weapon?
The woman's weapon.
The Strangler, Poisons,
Yeah.
Tyrion, Joffrey.
Basically, what happened at the Purple Wedding, and who set it up, and who, what, why, when, and where, and how.
So basically, like, one of the biggest plot points in the rest of the show.
In about 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, all right, let's get to it.
Sure.
So, Bailey. Sorry, I was just...
Put her on the spot.
Yeah.
So,
Go for it.
all right, so the big thing here, I'm going to reference back to the poison that we see take Joffrey is the Strangler. The first time we see that is the epilogue to book 2
Yes.
with Maester Crescent
Right.
when we first go to Dragonstone and we
he's
see
trying to off her.
he's trying to take Melisandre out.
And we do see that in
Basically
season...
like a mutual, I'm going to go out with
We'll
her.
have a drink together. Here,
Yeah.
here you go.
And we see him get choked up.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect her.
Yeah, and we do
Yeah.
see that in season 1, I believe.
That was 2.
I'm
That was
sorry,
season
season
2.
2, episode 1.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yep.
See
I
the
believe you.
same exact scene, but, you know, because you referenced the epilogue. So I'm saying that was a show...
I actually meant prologue. If I said epilogue, I apologize. I meant prologue.
That's fair. So, but we did see this exact same scene. But yeah, same poison, same kind of effects going on very quickly, which for most poisons, honestly, most poisons don't act that fast.
And that's why this one is... It leaves no traces and it acts hyper quick.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like how it's described in the books.
Right, and you can't
it's
really
just so dangerous.
easily get a antidote or whatever.
Because it's so quick.
Right away,
Like,
yeah.
even if you knew what was happening...
It
Oh,
gives
shit,
you
I
no
drank that.
chance
Oh.
to react to it.
Right, unless you were like, okay, I'm taking the Strangler. Here's the antidote. Get ready to shove this Bezoar
Give it to
down
me.
my throat.
Because all the kids are doing that
Bourgeois.
at parties.
Bourgeois.
Bourgeois.
Right?
Dude,
That's what the audiobook says.
You gotta take this
Bezoar or
shot and
bourgeois?
then take this other shot so you don't die.
Take
Yeah.
this other shot to offset the first shot that you
Right. So my thing with it is Pycelle maybe could have had an antidote on him, but Cersei had sent him away, you know, with the whole go
The-
alert them.
Yeah.
The problem with that theory, quite literally right before Joffrey drinks the fucking wine, Pycelle's sitting in the fucking audience again.
Is he?
Yeah.
So even though he was sent away like 2 scenes before,
Yeah.
he's sitting there watching
So
this.
there's no argument to why he couldn't run up and, oh, I'm a maester with all these fucking pockets to dump this shit down
These
his throat.
Hagrid fucking trench coat pockets.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I was
Is that
watching
like
for
a-
it because at that scene, I'm like, okay, so that's why Pycelle's away and all that. But 2 scenes later, there he is.
And like, would that be like a, I don't know what they call it, continuity error or something like that? Where
Yeah,
they
it
just
kind
didn't,
of
they
is.
didn't realize it at the time. They're just, and like a lot of these shows, they like kind of they film shit like kind of out of order, and then
Mhm.
somebody
Sometimes
pieces them back together. So maybe
narratively,
they're
it doesn't quite line
yeah.
up.
So they were
yeah. And
filming this scene. Pycelle was there, and
Because
they
when they're
didn't
filming
realize it.
that one scene, they're probably like, okay, we need like a lot of recognizable faces
Sure.
witnessing this.
yeah. And I think
As
this-
opposed to, well, where is each individual character supposed to be? And that's just part
Yeah.
of production. Like, that's going to happen. Like,
And I think the scene I'm thinking of is actually the 5 King, is where they show Pycelle sitting there kind of chuckling, kind of.
Yeah,
know,
'cause he was one
supporting
of the ones that was
House
chuckling.
Flame.
Yeah, supporting him and all that.
Like Savari's, I think.
Which is a minute and a half, you know, after she told me go feed the dogs and 30 seconds before he starts choking.
and then third
It's like, well, let me watch this 5 Kings battle, and then I'll go tell them.
Yeah.
All right, Bailey, what are your thoughts on the poisoning, like just the way this was shot, filmography wise?
It's such an effective way to get rid of Joffrey. He has no chance to be like, wait, someone's trying to kill me. So I definitely agree with it 100%.
Yeah, there's no
Or-
reaction time. There's no
Sending
working
orders
against
to-
it time. It's just
Kill him.
you've been a cunt.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you've worked towards. go ahead and
You
live
reap what you sow.
not through this.
Yeah, fuck you, Joffrey. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And so, this is all spoilers, as we know. So, Abby, if you're listening, get the fuck out.
Right.
We know she's not here in studio.
The
Video
second
can
time or
verify.
third time only she's been in studio for an episode.
Right.
And the first time ever when we were going to an epilogue.
That's true.
And it's like, go.
Yeah. And so we literally kicked her out of the fucking house. And
Toodaloo.
and broken leg and all, hobble out.
Broken femur.
Broken femur. Sorry, not a full broken leg. I apologize for misleading the audience. But we know that Olenna Tyrell and I want to say Microfinger are like the two big ones behind this whole ordeal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know that from watching other
Season
seasons. Like,
7
confirm for
and-
sure.
Yeah.
Well, even next episode
Next
does
episode with-
confirm
where
Microfinger was
His
involved.
involvement.
But Olenna, we don't get confirmation until
Till 7-6.
till 7-6. But I did watch that scene with her and Sansa like at about 20% speed. And you can see she takes her or from Sansa's view, she takes Sansa's left braid, strokes it, right braid, strokes it, reaches up again, slowly cups something, pulls it down.
And it was not.
It wasn't her braid
Okay.
or her breast.
Okay.
Nope, wasn't her braid or breast.
No.
Cups something, brings it down, and then the next shot of Sansa, there's, I
6.
want to say 6 stones left when there
Black
were
amethyst.
7. And so it's one of those, watching it very slow, they did it from here. It was perfectly done. And so for David and Dan, for all the shit I gave you, for everything else, up to this point, you did this shit right.
Yeah, Dave and Dan.
I mean,
I do think these big, high, pivotal moments, these are the things that they focus on.
yeah.
And sometimes the other stuff is what gets left out. It's just they don't have time to focus on those things. I feel like in general, they've gotten a lot of the really big moment things really well done.
Yeah. But
Like-
also remember,
like
this was a
Nedhead.
Germ written episode.
It was.
Yeah.
But like Nedhead, they did really, really well.
Yeah.
Red Wedding, they did really, really well.
Blackwater.
Blackwater, even though it was like a shortened, low budget version of it,
In
they
fairness,
did
that was a Germ episode too.
but they did they hit the high points. They make sure that they have the details in order to get the things that matter.
Right, but I think this might be like the moment where eventually they're going to go off key a bit, and
This
there's
is
going to
kind
be
of a summit of the show,
Right.
Is
Yeah.
what you're getting
a lot
at.
of stuff has been really similar to like maybe the books, not like 100% or anything like that, but pretty similar. Like I think moving forward though, now is like different characters are doing different things, and parts in the book of a character are going to be given to a different character that's already in the show, so we don't have to create a new character.
For the record, in the book, the battle at the wall has already happened by this point.
Right.
It happens like earlier than this whole thing with because I'm listening through this book and Joffrey hasn't died, and they're
Yeah.
doing the battle at the wall right now.
And yeah, no, you're correct. Yeah, because
So
it's
and we're
'cause you do go
7 episodes or 5-6 episodes away from the Watchers of the Wall.
yeah, no,
So
and-
there's like a total discrepancy on
Yeah.
timelines. It's not a huge deal,
Yeah.
especially because we don't see John or anybody at the wall this episode, so we can't like directly connect.
Right.
that,
exactly,
but-
or
You know the
even
timelines
Marine,
and stuff.
because Marine happens if we went
And
chronologically.
think about the time zone difference, right? I mean,
Right, that's what it is.
Well, Bailey knows that fairly well,
Right.
very well. So, but if you think about all that, because yeah, Marine, honestly, going to your point, the battle for the front wall, Strong Belwas, cutting down the guy happens before the Purple Wedding. The Purple Wedding was kind of the ending shock. They did the middle shock of the Red Wedding, Purple Wedding. Okay, where the fuck do we go from here going into the end? So it is a thing, but I'm glad they did it early. It fits, and where they go from here, it's okay. It does work through season 4.
but yeah, I definitely kind of see where this is kind of a lot of different plot lines start going kind of downhill from here. Like I do think they hold it together for season 4. I think season 4 is good.
Right.
Season 5 is where certain plot lines start getting questionable.
Right.
Season 6 is off the rails in certain ones.
Eventually,
by a lot.
they run out of stuff that's already been written, and they kind of go in by their own accord, if you will.
It's time to make our own stuff.
If they just would have pasted a little bit differently, like for certain plot lines, like, hey, let's skip them for like 3 episodes, which I know is because more of a logistic, like, filming issue of like, well, we can't just have like this one actor, main big plot actor in for like 2 episodes in a season. Like, that's just, it's unfortunately not going to happen. That's what the story requires. But you just can't, like, oh, we're going to fly this guy from, to Iceland or to Croatia for 2 episodes that are filming, like, months apart from each other, most likely.
Yeah.
It's just logistics issues that makes it tough, I think.
Yeah, and I think
it happens.
A lot of it from their end was just budget issues, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, we got to do this, we got to do that. We have to spend this amount of money. I don't know. Like, they could have just hired me and I'd have done it for free.
And Glenn, is still available. He could leave his job now to do the job that you're looking for. I think they're done filming for season 8 at this point. But
there goes that.
There goes that. That could have been our story.
There's always the prequel.
He could be the Mexican soccer announcer. Just
go!
Biblioteca.
Grey worm.
I'm sorry, the Dorn soccer announcer.
That's Spanish. That's Spain.
Jesus.
That's not Mexican. Yeah, it's a little different.
Fair enough.
He'll live if you get him help right away.
So, what else can we talk about this? We can go into Sansa going to the Vale, which I think we're going to have a lot of episodes coming up on that, so maybe let's not do that. But we can also maybe reference Olenna in basically season 7, where she's like, yeah, I fucking did that. And we'll get there eventually.
We can fucking reference Olenna later this season, where she's like, did you really think I would let you marry the monster? She calls it out because I want to say it's later this season.
Because basically she's saying, you're better off marrying Tommen.
Tommen, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
saying it to Marjorie, but she doesn't, like, blatantly say, yeah, I poisoned
the water hole.
Fucking giant baby pussy.
Yeah.
But so Olenna is a shrewder player in this game than anyone. Because here's the thing. Literally watching that scene, slow motion, there's no inclination apart from the grab from Sansa's neck that she did anything. And I'm saying I'm watching this at fucking 22%, knowing slick. What I'm watching for. There's no drop in the cup. There's no nothing. This is a perfectly played plan because she knows what needs to be done. Sansa is, and that's the other point of when she was like, you need to come to Highgarden and you need to do this. She's already setting Sansa up for failure because she's like, that came from your fucking necklace. Tyrion, and she just played it off, but she's like, I can figure out a way to get Tyrion in there. Olenna is the baddest fucking bitch in this entire fucking universe.
And then she plays, like, she goes about her business like nothing's wrong. Like, there's some people that do this kind of stuff and, like, okay, you can tell something's up by that fucking guy.
Yeah.
The way he's looking, the way he's just kind of meandering around. She plays it off like everyday life, like, that's her personality. And
help your kings, you fucking idiots. Sorry, Bailey, any thoughts?
No, I feel like everyone's touched on exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I really feel like the production did a good job with the Purple Wedding. I do like the change of Penny to this dwarf show. The Five King, the War of the Five Kings.
Yes.
Because they don't do that in the book, right?
It's just Penny and Groat. It's Penny and Groat.
It's the jousting dwarves on the pig and the dog. And
Joffrey takes the same place of, Tyrion, Uncle.
And Littlefinger is not there, but we think it's him that put the idea to do this. Hey, you know what's going to really piss off your uncle? Is having dwarves at your wedding. That was like one of his last things as, Master of Coin. Yeah. Kind of, hey, I'm getting ready to leave, but guess what? You're getting married.
Here's
this
a good
thing.
idea.
Right. Take this one.
I saw this act that you might appreciate.
Right. Yeah, do it subtly. And I appreciate that the show did its own thing, and I think it works almost better for where the show goes with it.
Yes.
Because it hits a lot of it's kind of a culmination point. It really brings this episode 2 of a season 2, and again, kind of a peak of the show. It kind of culminates everything to this point, and then everything after this point is like a whole new story. I mean, because there's no Joffrey, who's been kind of top dog. I mean, Robert was there for season 1, but like even with that, we knew that Joffrey was like one of the major protagonists,
next
right?
in line, you know?
Exactly.
Like, and even when he wasn't the king, he was still a major protagonist of, you know, Rob
and Tyrion.
And Tyrion, like these two characters that we love. And it's just interesting to see that now he's gone.
Yeah.
What's the fallout on that? Which is a lot, I think, bigger than Rob's fallout. Like, that's more of like a, you know, rock in the stomach. Like, oh, God.
That was the hero's journey that you're thinking is going to happen. Cut off at his knees. Joffrey coming up, you're thinking, okay, this guy's going to be the good never die young, you know, the Billy Joel song, you know, and the good never, or
only the
good die young.
And the good never die.
Only the good die young.
And they're there.
Let's kill them all.
And so you're thinking, okay, so Joffrey's got to make it all the way through. And then this happens. And you're like, shit, okay. And especially if you're watching him from a cursory aspect, like you're not really paying attention, like Stannis is kind of secondary. So you're not really paying attention to what Stannis is doing. It's like, oh, I want to watch the cool stuff, the dragons.
John at the wall, and Dany with the dragon,
you know,
Joffrey.
You'll get nothing.
He's one of those players.
Yeah, he's one of those players. But then when he dies off, because he's the big bad. He's the big bad up to this point.
Baddie.
I mean, he's the big dick. I'll put it that way.
Questionable. You can confirm for us.
Up to this point. But once he dies off, you're right. Yeah. Where are we going? It's like, shit, okay. Because you're right. In the book-wise, this is towards the end of Storm of Swords.
Crash into me.
So you're like, okay, this is finishing up. It's still a hard hit. But now with the show, it's like...
No Dave Matthews Band in this
No Dave Matthews Band.
That's one of the firm rules.
Yes. Tom Petty and Dave Matthews. I'm with you on that.
And yes, I meant Green Street Hooligans. Firm rules. It's one of the rules of the firm.
So when Joffrey dies off early in this year, it's like, okay, where the fuck are we going? Because this happens later. I know they couldn't stretch out the wedding. Oh, we're planning this wedding. And I do like...
It was all season 3.
Second half of season 3. It was 5 to 10 of season 3 of the wedding plan. But then you also have 1 and 2 of season 4. It's like, okay, so I'm glad they did it the way they did it. But it's like, shit, where are they going? I'm glad. I like season 4. You know, it's a good build. And like we said before, 1, 2, 3, and most of 4 is a great fucking show.
Is what made this one of the best shows on TV.
Exactly. Then it gets, and we're also spoiled because we're book readers and we know what stories we want to hear.
We can fill some of the details in.
Yeah, but you know, how many people would you say out of the viewers of the show are book readers as well?
Oh, 25%.
Less.
So that's 75%.
All right, plus or minus. Bailey, what do you think? For 50 million viewers or whatever it is, 25% plus or minus on that are book readers.
I'd say a solid 30%.
Oh, so you say higher.
You're going over?
Plus 25%.
Just a little bit.
Okay. I say less than. But maybe my book reader status is different than like, oh, I flew through it once. And that's coming from an avid reader perspective, and I know that. So like maybe my gauge on a book reader is different than someone that read the books.
I'll say there's a good 25% in my camp of I watched like season 1, season 1, season 2, and I read everything, but I didn't delve deep into the history and all that. Cursory mainstay. So I think a good 20% is on my camp of we read it, we watched it, but we're happy with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I think the majority of the viewers they only watch the show. They have no idea about the books, They know the book, they just don't read.
Yeah.
So
Right.
They've heard through forums or whatever, like, this is a difference.
This is what happened. I just think they're going to cater to those people more so than the book reader, and it sucks because as a book reader, you want to see some of this stuff come to fruition and stuff like that, but with the budgets and shit like that they have, like, it's just not going to happen.
Yep. All right, Burger King this Whopper, Glenny.
Burger King, we done?
We're done.
All right, thank you for joining us for our epilogue episode, season 4, episode 2, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but minus the witch plus the rose. As always, don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
As always, winter is coming and so am I.
As always, stay imaginary.
And as always, keep reading.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Love ya.
How do you know this?
That's what I do.
I love you.
I drink and I know things.
It's our first date.